Michael Keating from Keating Media, Mr Morrow. Last week, a few colleagues of mine, Terry Butler MP and the now Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull MP, launched the Parliamentary Friends of the Internet group in Parliament House. Parliament House is one of the worst connected areas in Canberra, and as you said, Gungahlin, a residential area, is now better connected than the Parliament of Australia. Do you think it's important to factor in decision centres such as the Parliament, as well as just residential and regional areas in your consideration with the NBN? Also, you've mentioned connection speeds of up to 1 gigabit per second and 50 megabits per second. Often the most important thing is the consistency of that speed as well as just the speed itself. Are you saying you'll be able to deliver those speeds consistently over the network at 50 megabits per second for households? Because obviously another factor is the upload speed, which is more important to a lot of businesses than downloads because they're transmitting content. Is that something that you'll be able to deliver through the NBN?
So first of all, with the connection to Parliament House, they would not be on our priority list, but I will tell you who is, and that is the underserved areas today. The government has mandated that we consider it a priority to build out to areas that have no broadband internet at all. As many of you are aware, the country actually has over 70% of broadband access in terms of ADSL capability, but that has an average speed that's really less than 10 megabits per second and has limited retail competition. So that's why we're actually changing with NBN to go into those areas. But in areas that have nothing available today, we consider that a priority. We always make sure in our build program that we have more going in those areas than we do in the already developed or already served areas for broadband. Now, in terms of the consistency of speeds behind this, I think the first thing that we need to make sure that we understand is NBN is one link in a chain of networks. And so if you even consider the Wi-Fi equipment that's in your home, that's a link of a chain that can actually be a choke point or a limiter on the speed that you'll experience. And then you get into the NBN side of it, which is the access from your home back into our transit network. And then you enter another link, which goes into the retail service provider. This was the point I was making earlier about dividing the nation into 121 areas. That speed can be determined by the size of the pipe that they have connected and or what we call a CVC pricing point of what's the throughput of how much data can flow through that at any given point. So consistency is an issue of contention. And my point is anywhere on any one of these links of the chain, you can see contention come in that can change or vary what your speed will be depending on how busy it is with multiple users. For NBN, when we look at the access network, we assume that the access speed that's bought will be a speed that we can maintain and deliver on a consistent basis.